down idols and we cutting down poles. We calling back Israel to the hell we know. Throwing out crystals, we don't need these stones. And we ain't no gods, that's a job for y'all. I'll praise to the Most High. I'll praise to the Most High, y'all. I'll praise to the Most High. I'll praise to the young Israel. Tearing down idols, we cutting down poles. We calling back Israel to the hell we know. We throwing out crystals, we don't need these stones. We ain't no gods, that's a job for y'all.
All praise to the Most High.
All praise to the Most. What we say? All praise to the Most. All praise
to the young Israel.
all praise.
To the Most High.
Let's lift up a praise to God.
All praise to the Most High.
All praise. Listen, we won't go the way of the pagan. We don't need no potions of sage. We won't let your word be forsaken. Even if we're hated.
We won't go the way of the pagans.
We don't need no.
We don't need no potions or sages.
We won't let your
We
word.
won't let your word be
No,
forsaken.
even
Even if we're hated.
if we're. We won't go the way. We don't need no potions of sage. We won't let your word be forsaken. Even if we're.
Even if we're hated. Even if we're hated. Even if we're hated.
Tearing out idols. We cutting down poles. We calling back Israel to the hell we know. We throwing out crystals. We don't need these stones. And we ain't no gods. That's a job for y'all. Everybody help me say,
All
oh.
praise to the Most High.
I can't hear you say.
All praise to the Most High.
I'll praise.
All praise to the Most High.
Hey, I'll praise.
All praise to the young Israel.
Happy Sabbath day, happy Sabbath day, happy Sabbath day. This is the day that the Most High have made. So let us be glad and rejoice in it. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. I hope the Most High have blessed you over and abundantly with love, kindness, and joy. I hope the Most High have really truly blessed you over and abundantly with protection, healing, and understanding of His words. I hope the Most High really have truly blessed you and your offspring with wisdom and knowledge and understanding. I really truly hope He has, and I hope He's continuing to bless you and to be able to help you to be able to thrive in the midst of all of everything that you see today. My week has been an okay week. I can't complain too much. I really can't complain. I really can and I won't, because the Most High really, it's like he caught me. He really spoke to me this week, man, and hopefully you all can be patient with me. I'm gonna give you a lot of information. I'm gonna walk you through some steps. I'm gonna walk you through some things that is actually taking place in the world today. And I'm asking you to, right now, to get out of the emotions of life. Not deal with emotions. Only deal with logic and facts. Do not deal with emotions, because when you deal with emotions, you will tend to make a lot of bad decisions. And I'm going to ask you not to deal with your emotions, okay? So let us go ahead and read Exodus chapter 20, verses 1 through 17. And it says, and Ananias, what you looking for? It's what book? Oh, okay. It says, Ananias spake out these words, saying, I am Yahuwah thy Ananias, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And thou shalt have no other Ananias before me. And thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahuwah thy Ananias, am a jealous Ananias, visiting the iniquities of other fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandment. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahuwah thy Ananias in vain, for Yahuwah will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahuwah thy Ananias. In it thou shalt not do any works, thou nor thy sons, nor thy daughters, thy manservants, nor thy maidservants, nor thy cattle, nor thy strangers that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahuwah made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore, if Yahuwah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, honor thy fathers and thy mothers, that thy days be long upon the land which Yahuwah thy Ananias giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbors, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, and thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservants, nor his maidservants, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Okay, let us read. O creators of the heavens and earth, of our radiance and vibrations, soften the grounds of our beings and carve out a space with us where your presence can abide. Fill us with your creativity so that we may be able to empower, to bear fruits of our missions. Let each of our actions bear fruits in accordance with our desires within your purpose for our life. Bestow us with the wisdom of produce and grant and share what each being needs to grow and flourish. Untie the tangled thread of destiny that binds us as we release others from the entanglement of past mistakes. Do not let us be seduced by which distracts us from our true purpose, but illuminate the opportunities of present moments. For you are the ground and the fruitful vision, the creator power and fulfillment, as all is gathered and made whole once again. So let it be. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. This is the day that the Most High have made. So let us be glad and rejoice in it. If you can, turn to the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Verses 1 through 11. And I'm the key verse is verse 9. Okay? Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verses 1 through 11, and the key verse, and the only verse that I'm going to deal with today, the only verse that I'm going to deal with today is verse 9, and it reads, the things that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. Shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Let me read it over. The things that has been, meaning in the past, it is that which shall be. Whatever is done in the past is going to be done in the future. And that which is done is that which shall be done. That which is done is that which shall be done. The things that were done in the past is going to be here, and the things that was here was there. Okay, and there is no new thing under the sun. Meaning that there's nothing new. Everything that you see that's going on presently, it was done back then, and what you saw back then, it was done here right now in the present moment. And that's why I just said to you, let me give you the words. Let me give you the words. The words today is propaganda. Propaganda is a 17th century word. Propaganda now is used in the negative sense. But at first it just was a general word. It means propagate. Propaganda. Words evolve over time. So they use the word propagate, but now they use the word propaganda. Propaganda is a 17th century word from the negative connotation or negative sense. Propaganda means any movement or organization to propagate or to spread some practice of ideas. This assimilation of information into or to promote a political point of view. So propaganda is a form to push a political point of view. That's what propaganda means. It is to spread a certain political point of view. It also means, in the earlier context of the word, it means material or information to spread, to advance a cause. Propaganda basically means I'm going to spread information for a particular point of view. Just like the Democratic Party, they spread information for their point of view. The Republican Party push their propaganda to spread a particular point of view. Okay. Theatrics is an 18th century word. Theatrics. Theatrics. Theatric is matters pertaining to the stage. Matters pertaining to the stage. All that pertains to a dramatic performance. Pertaining to a theater or to a scenic representation or resembling the matter of dramatic performances. Propaganda is spread through theatrics. Propaganda is spread through theatrics. Theatrics is a pertaining to the stage. All pertains to a performance is spread through propaganda, information. Okay? So now, got you one more word coming out of the Black Law Dictionary. Because a lot of the times when you're listening to the news would say actor. Actor. You hear the news of some people on the television say, yeah, the actor of this and the actor of that, right? The word actor from the 4th edition Black Law Dictionary, it means a patron or advocate or pleader, one who acts for another in legal matters. One who acts for another in legal matters. One who represents, listen to this one, this is the key part. One who represents a party and manage his cause. An attorney, a plaintiff, or steward. One who manages or acts for another. That's what an actor is. So when we're looking at all political representatives, they are all actors who spread propaganda through theatrics. I want you to understand that. Basically, what I'm saying is the world, have you ever heard this slogan that says, the world is a stage? The reason why they say the world is a stage is because the actors are spreading propaganda through theatrics. Okay? They're spreading information through dramatic experiences and traumatizing people. That's why I was saying today, that's why I just said, do not let your emotions get in the way of everything that's going on today. Do not let your emotions get in the way, because it can cause you it could cause you to make bad decisions. So don't let yourself get in the way today, okay? Also, I'm going to give you a word. I want you to understand this. Understand this. Isaiah chapter 55 and 11. Isaiah 55 and 11. Isaiah 55 and 11, it reads, so shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I sent it. So we got to understand that if we see the world as a stage for the Most High, we also got to understand that we got to have actors that spread propaganda through theatrics. Okay? We got to understand that. So that's why I was saying we have to get out of our emotions during this time period, because emotions can cause you to make a lot of bad decisions. But the title of my text today is History Repeats Itself. The final act is here. History repeats itself. The final act is here. Understand that. History repeats itself. The final act is here. Okay, so now, when we're looking at the book of Ecclesiastes, and I'm trying to hurry up because I got a lot of information. I want to try to make sure that I give you all the information you need, okay? Because what I'm doing is, it is going to be a compare and contrast text. I want you to be looking at this thing today from a logical point of view, so that you can be able to control your emotions and not get too involved in what's actually going to take place and what's actually taking place. because I want us to understand that history repeats itself. We just have different actors that's spreading propaganda through theatrics. Please understand that. Okay? So I'm going to be doing a comparison and contrast. I'm comparing two different people, and I'm comparing them, and I want you to see the difference in how they are and the difference in the scenario so that you can be able to get a hold of your emotions and really study the executive orders, really study things that you're supposed to study so that you won't get emotionally involved. Because my daughter just left here because of a situation, and I really want her to get out of the emotional side of what we see in society today. I really want us to get out of the emotion, because what we think we see is actually not what we see. Please understand that. Okay, so like I said, the book of Ecclesiastes is the writer King Solomon. They say he was writing the book by the time of his death, because what he was doing is he was rethinking all the decisions that he made. He was just looking back over his life, and he was just saying, man, all the things that I did and all the things that I had, it was all in vanity. It didn't really mean nothing in life. It really didn't. And as he looked back over his time in life, and he was just studying history and looking at people, he just said, all the things that I tried to accomplish, it really wasn't worth it. Because the simple fact is, it was vanity. All the things that I was looking for, I was trying to have in life and try to strive for with all these women and all this possession, it really wasn't worth it. Because it was vanity. It was nothing. It never did fulfill me on the inside. It gave me a physical happiness or physical joy for a moment, but it really didn't give me no spiritual satisfaction. And he basically is saying that we basically need to have a spiritual connection to the Most High to really be fulfilled. Doing things for humanity, all those types of things. Because I was talking to my friend yesterday, he was going to see his parents today and visit them and enjoy them. I said, that's the best experience, that's the best moments that you can have, just spending time with your loved ones and enjoying that moment with them. And because they're loving you for who you are, not what you have. They're just there with you, eating, drinking, and talking and making merry. Okay? So that's what it was all about. Okay? So now I want us to understand something. When we're looking at history, everybody say history is his story, okay? But I'm looking at history, the timeline that we exist today, okay? How everything came to be the way it is today. And I want us to understand something. In order for us to understand this moment that we're in, we got to go back 100 years. We got to go back 100 years to be able to understand where we are at right now. And as soon as we can understand that we got to go back 100 years from this moment today, we will be able to understand the present moment. But I'm going to take you back 100 years so that you could be able to understand this moment. And yes, I'm going to be using Bible scriptures, but I'm going to give you situations so that you could be able to hopefully put everything together. Because I really want us to get out of the emotions. I want us to look at this thing from a logical point of view, but it also going to show us that we need to get our spiritual life together because what's on the horizon. Okay? Okay, so now I want us to be able to go to Luke, right? I want us to be able to go to Luke. Luke chapter 21. Luke chapter 21, verse 24. Luke chapter 21, verse 24. It says this, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Understand that. Let me read it over. It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles until the Gentiles be fulfilled. Okay? So now what we have to understand is, how did the Gentiles get into Jerusalem? How did the Gentiles get into Jerusalem, and how would Jerusalem be trodden down by the Gentiles? This is a double prophecy here when we're looking at it. It's talking about 70 AD, but it's also talking about future than 70 AD, past 70 AD. That is a double prophecy, okay? So now I want to read you something. Okay? It is called the Balfour Declaration. Okay? The Balfour Declaration was established in 1917, not 1890. It was a public statement by the British government that support the creation of a Jewish homeland in Palestine. So what we have to understand is, how did the people that live in Jerusalem get to be in Jerusalem? Something had to happen in order for these people that live in the state of Israel to be able to be there, because they was not there prior to the 19th century. The 19th century, the early 19th century. They was placed there after the 19th century, but it had to be a declaration or an order to get things started. See, paperwork gets everything started. Everything starts by the paperwork. And see, the Balfour Declaration was the beginning of the process of the state of Israel being established. This thing had to be established on paper first before it could be able to be established in the physical realm. Okay, let me read you a little bit more. It says, the Balfour Declaration was a letter from Arthur Balfour, the British Foreign Secretary. He wrote to the Rothschilds, a leader of the British Jewish community. And this letter was sent on November the 2nd in 1917. Okay? Then it says, the declaration was a diplomatic foundation for the state of Israel. The declaration had many long-lasting consequences, including mass Jewish migration to Palestine. See, the people, they was living in Germany prior to them moving to the state of Israel or to Palestine. They was living in Germany. So now, how are you going to get a group of people that lives in Germany? How are you going to get them from Germany to move to Palestine? Understand that. How are you going to get a group of people to move from Germany to Palestine? Understand that I was talking about actors. You're going to have actors that spread propaganda through theatrics. The event is going to have to happen in order for these people to be able to move from Germany down to Palestine. Who's going to play the major role in getting these people to move from Germany down to Palestine. You first have to put the order on paper. Now you got to be able to figure out who's going to play the roles to get these people to move from Germany to Palestine. Who is the major actor in this situation? Who is the major actor that will contribute to these people moving from Germany to Palestine? Okay, let me see something else first. Let me see. Okay, also let me give you a better understanding of the Balfour Declaration. The Balfour Declaration is a statement of a British support for the establishment. Listen to this. For the establishment of a Palestine, of a national home for the Jewish people. It was made in a letter dated November the 17th from the author James Ford Declaration. So the people that was living in Germany, they had to find a home. They wanted to create a home in Palestine because they called themselves Jewish people. They was anointing themselves to be the original people of the Most High. So the only thing that they was lacking was a place or a homeland. Okay? So who would play the most important role in getting those people to the homeland? Okay? Now I set the scene up. You got the paper, you got the people, you got the destination. You got the person who wrote it was Arthur Balfour. He was writing it because he needed for these people who was called the Most High's children to have a homeland. They got the name, now they got to have the homeland. Okay, now they found the homeland, now they got to figure out how we're going to get these group of people from this place to this place. What are we going to do, or what actors are going to play the role to be able to get these people to move from this place to this place? Now, the main character, or the main actor in the situation was called Adolf H. Y'all know the rest of the part of it. Adolf H. Okay, that's his name, Adolf. And I'm not going to say it no more. His name is Adolf. Adolf was a family member of the Rothschild family, but he was also born in Austria. Okay? He was an actor. He was an artist. He was a military man, but he also entered the political climate in 1919. So now this actor named Adolf, he is from Austria. He entered the political process in 1919. Okay? When he entered the political process in 1919, he established a party called the Nazi Party, which was a far-right political party in Germany that was led by him. It also was known as the National Socialists. Okay? So this character who entered the political party in 1919, and then when he first entered the political party, the political process in 1919, he had to establish an organization that he would claim for himself and that would be known by him through the process. In the organization that he established for himself, the organization that he established for himself was called the Nazi Party. Understand that I'm doing compare and contrast. This guy named Adolf, he established the Nazi Party, which was a far-right political party in Germany, which was also known as as the National Socialism. Also known as the National Socialist. Okay? His views was worldwide reviewed around two concepts. His views was based on his worldview was based on two concepts. Okay? His worldviews was based on two concepts: territorial expansion and racial supremacy. So now you have this actor that entered the political process in 1919. He established his own political party called the Nazi Party. And his main view was to have two concepts: territory expansion and racial supremacy. Okay? It's okay. Racial supremacy. His character, or what he did for a living, he was an artist and he was a military soldier. He went to jail for a failed coup attempt. He also tried to overthrow the German government. Okay? He also said, okay, he also tried to overthrow the government. Okay, so this character had motives. This character had objectives. This character had a mission. He also was assigned to the same people that was trying to help push the Balfour Declaration. Okay? What was his motives? What was his motivation? Germany was going through financial crisis, and liberals was changing the culture and climate in Germany at the time. Okay? Okay? So now you have this character who entered the political process in 1919. He wanted to be able to change the political process in Germany through two concepts. Territory expansion and racial supremacy. His first attempt failed. So he wound up going to jail for 9 months because of his failed coup attempt to take over the government. Okay? But really what made him want to be in charge at the time of this situation, because of the climate of what was going on in Germany. Okay, the climate that was going on in Germany at the time, it was very liberal. It was liberal in arts, the culture, the nightlife, and women won the right to vote. Okay? Understand that. Women had the right to vote at the time. So, now he's looking at, this is a far right wing type of guy, looking at what is actually going on in Germany at the time. He had a far right mentality. He believed, he was hating what was actually taking place in Germany at the time. But he also knew that Germany was going through financial crisis. He understood all these things. And he did not like, I don't know if he liked the fact or not, about women given power to vote. Okay? Yeah, you can. His supporters was called the Strong Arm Squad. His supporter was considered to be the Strong Arm Squad. And they wanted to protect him. They wanted to protect him. They was willing to give his life for everything that he believed in. The Strong Arm Squad was willing to give their life for him. They supported him at meetings. They supported him wherever he went. This Strong Arm Squad that they called. Because of his viewpoints and what he actually believed in. They was willing to forgive their life for him because they believed so much in what he thought. Because he had a nationalist thought process. Okay? Then it says the conditions of Germany. When it comes down to the military standpoint. The conditions of Germany, when it comes down to the military standpoint, Germany was fighting on two fronts during World War I. So Germany was fighting two people at one time. That's what Germany was doing. Germany was going through a military crisis where they were fighting two people at one time. They was going through a financial crisis. They was also going through arts and culture and liberation movements at the time. And it also gave women rights to vote in 1921. So you had that climate, but this leader's viewpoint was so different than the climate that was actually taking place. His climate was to create a new Germany through territory expansion and racial supremacy, because he was understanding that the people was in charge was oppressing the Germans. That was his thought process. Okay? So now, his main objective, in July 1921, he became their leader with almost unlimited power, because what he wanted to do, he wanted to become in power and have everybody support his main ideas. Listen to that. He won the election in Germany in 1921 by 6.5 million votes. The whole country in itself voted for this man. He won the election by a landslide. Understand that. This man won the election by a landslide. Okay? He wanted ultimate power. Okay, it says, from the first he set out to create a mass movement whose majestic and powers will be sufficient to bind its members in loyalty to him. His main thing, how he wanted to gain power in Germany during the 1920s, he wanted to make sure that everybody supported him and was loyal to him through every way possible. He did whatever he had to do to be able to make sure that these people was loyal to him by every way, shape, fashion, and form. Okay? He also drew a vital lesson from the Putsch, that the movement must achieve power by legal means. He said that in order for me to have this significant power, I have to be able to have this way by legal means. Understand that. So whatever I got to do, how I got to do it, and the way I got to do it, I got to do it by the legal way of doing things. I hope y'all hearing this. Everything that this person had to do, he had to do it by the legal way. Okay? So now, finally, because of Germany debt and hyperinflations, they had to move from the gold standard to the dollar standard. Listen to that. Listen to that. Because of Germany debt and hyperinflations, they had to move from the gold standard to the dollar standard, which made it easier to pay bills. Okay? Germany was in 31.5 billion at the time. Germany debt was so large that it took 91 years to pay the debt off. That is when the world moved into the industrial age. Understanding that once Adolf Hitler came to be in power, the country was in a desolate state, and that they was in a financial crisis, they was in a cultural crisis, they was in a women empowerment movement crisis, they was in a hyperinflation crisis. But also you got to remember that the Balfour Declaration had to move these people that was in Germany down to Palestine. Who was the main character and actor to move the people that was in Germany down to Palestine? It was this character called Adolf that helped the process to move the people that was in Germany down to Palestine. Okay? Then it says, also understand this, it says, the Industrial Revolution was a period. Hold on. Okay, so after he came into power, that's when you had the situation called the Holocaust. Okay? He was persecuting the people and doing all the things that he did to them at that time. Okay? But it also, during that time, it was a changing of age. At that point in time, most people did not have water going on in their house. They did not have lights, electricity, or anything to that nature. The government was not established in the way that it is now. So something had to happen in order to push the world into a new age. Who was the character that pushed the world into a new age? He pushed the world to a new age through the persecution of the people in Germany. So what happened, once he pushed the people, once he started persecuting the people in Germany, that's when the Balfour Declaration came into existence. They was able to move out of Germany and they moved down to Palestine, which the Balfour Declaration wanted them to do in 1917. Okay, but what happened also during this time period, the Industrial Revolution age came into play. That means, what is the Industrial Revolution Industrial Revolution was a period of major economic and social change that occurred in the 18th and 19th century. It was characterized by the introduction of power-driven machinery, which transformed the people worked and how they lived. So, this character called Adolf was used to spread propaganda and theatrics, but he was also used to push the industrial age. He was also used to take the people out of Germany and push them down to Palestine. That was his job as a personal chancellor. Understand that. That was his job. His job was to also make sure that the word will be fulfilled. Okay. What is the one I want to talk about? Okay, I come back to this. So now, when we're looking at it, once he got the people to move from Germany down to Palestine, listen to this. On November the 29th, dates are very important. On November the 29th, 1947, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted a resolution for the establishment of an independent Jewish state in Palestine and called upon the inhabitants of the country to take such steps as may be necessary on their part to put that plan into effect. Let us go to Revelations chapter 3, verse 9. It says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee." Because how did the people that's living in the state of Israel got to be in Israel today wasn't done through the Most High. It was done through the Balfour Declaration. It was done through man. Understand that. Understand that. Okay? It was done through man, not through the Most High. Because, let me see something. Hold on. Give me 1 second, one time. Because, listen to this. The Balfour Declaration allowed the people that was living in Germany to move down to Palestine. But they had to have actors and they had to have events that take place in order for the people to get down to Palestine. Understand that. Okay? Because it says in Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 10 through 14. It says, "For thus saith Yahuwah, that after 70 years," no, I don't want to do that one yet. Yeah, I tell you. It says, "For thus saith Yahuwah, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you, in causing you to return to this place. For I know the thoughts that I have think towards you, saith Yahuwah, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. And they shall call you upon, and then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And ye shall seek me and find me, and when ye shall search for me with all your mind, I will be found of you, saith Yahuwah, and I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations, from all the places whether I have driven you, saith Yahuwah. And I will bring you again into the place which I caused you to be carried away captive. See, the Balfour Declaration caused the people that is living in the state of Israel to be in Israel. But like I said, they had to have characters, they had to have a propaganda through theatrics, but they also had to create events that would cause all these things to take place. Okay? So now, we'll move 100 years from 1920s to 2020s. Okay? That's 100 years, which is a century. Okay? Understanding that history repeats itself. Okay? Okay? Now, Donald J. Trump is born. He is from Germany. He entered the political party in 2015. Let me go to Malachi chapter 1 verse 4. It reads, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahuwah has indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, Yahuwah will be magnified from the borders of Israel. So, now, the Edomites are saying, we are impoverished. We are poor, broke, and hungry right now. But we will return and build the desolate places. Okay? Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahuwah has indignation or anger against. Okay, so Donald J. Trump, he's a German. He entered the political party in 2015. And his political group that supports him is called the MAGA movements. The MAGA movement is representing the far right or the Republican Party, which is led by Donald J. Trump. And their main slogan is, let's make America great again. Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahuwah has indignation forever. So Edom is saying in Malachi chapter 1 verse 4, I'm broke, poor, broke, and hungry, but I'm going to rebuild again. Donald J. Trump, MAGA. The MAGA movement is representing the far right or the Republican Party, which is led by him. and the main slogan is "Let's Make America Great Again." His main viewpoints is he wants to restore Christian values and make America great again, but also in that which will be territory expansion of Greenland and making and the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Okay, he also, his views is he wanted to restore Christian values and make America great again, but also in that which will be which will be territory expansion of Greenland and changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and getting rid of programs that would help marginalized groups have equal opportunities. That's what his viewpoint is. He wants to restore Christian values and make America great again, but also territory expansion by buying Greenland and changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, and getting rid of programs that will help I'm trying to do this because as I look at it, I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading it correctly. Okay, so he want to buy Greenland, take the land over, take the Gulf of Mexico and change to the Gulf of America. Then he want to get rid of certain programs, right? Then his character. His character was he was a businessman, he was a real estate mogul, but he also was an actor. He was known for "You're Fired" on The Apprentice and Celebrity Apprentice. Also, he was convicted of 34 felonies. Okay? He didn't actually go to jail, but he took a mug shot in the city of Atlanta, downtown on Rice Street. Understand the comparison and contrast. Malachi 1:4 again, it says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said he who of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people again whom the Lord has indignation. But his main slogan is, let's make America great again. Okay? His motivation, U.S. is going through job loss and immigration issues and economy crisis. Right? Understand that. Do it seem kind of familiar that these two great actors are going through the same great experiences, but only 100 years apart? His supporters, The Proud Boys was lined up behind Donald Trump and willing to commit violence on his behalf. These defendants saw themselves as Donald Trump's army, fighting to keep their preferred leader in power, no matter what the law or the courts had to say about it. The great example was January the 6th. What is the social climate here in America? Very liberal. Same-sex marriage, gender change, men playing women, sports, and women empowerment. That is the social climate here in America. Same-sex marriage, gender change, men playing women's sports, and women empowerment. That is the social climate here today. And also racial tension. Also that was during the 100 years ago, because that is the reason why the people that was living in Germany got persecuted. It's called a Holocaust, and they were sent down to Palestine. The conditions of the military. We are fighting 2 wars. We are in Ukraine and helping the state of Israel militarily with financial and soldiers on the front lines. Understand that. Germany was fighting 2 wars. We are supporting 2 wars. Ukraine and Israel. What's his total objective? What's Donald Trump's total objective? The Supreme Court. First, as the highest court in the land. It is the court of last resort for those looking for justice. Second, due to its power of judicial review, it plays an important role in assuring that each branch of government recognizes the limits of its own power. And the Supreme Court is dominated by MAGA or Republican judges. What was Adolf Hitler's main objective? Is to be able to rule by legal authority. Okay, now finally, because of the U.S. debt and inflation on goods and services, we will have to move to cryptocurrency. The United States can pay off its debts, but it will take the United States in $34,000 worth of debt. $34 trillion. The United States is in $34 trillion worth of debt. Okay? $1 trillion worth of debt. The United States can pay off its debt, but it will be difficult and lengthy process. It will require significant tax increases and spending cuts, and could take decades to get out of debt. What am I saying? Understanding that when Adolf was during his time, the industrial age came. Let me read a little bit about the industrial age again. It said, the Industrial Revolution drastically changed society by transitioning from its primary agricultural economy to an urban industrialization one, leading to mass production in factories, large-scale migration from rural areas to cities, and significantly changing in working conditions, social structure, and living standards, often with poor conditions for every factory, despite increased overall wealth distribution. This resulted in the growth of new social classes and the emergence of labor movement fighting for better work. That came about through that situation with Adolf. The people moved out of Germany to the land, but it also was an industrial age coming into resolution or coming into fruition. Okay? Now my computer don't want to work. Come on up, computer. Okay, now, let me read this over again. Finally, of U.S. debt and inflation of goods and services, we will have to move to cryptocurrency, which is digital currency. Now the United States will be moving from paper currency the U.S. will be moving from paper currency to digital currency. Digital currency. Okay. It reads like this. As the AI revolution refers to a significant and transformative shift in various industries and aspects of life driven by advancement in artificial intelligence, which is AI intelligence, where machines can now perform tasks that typically require human intelligence, like learning, decision-making, and problem-solving, leading to a major disruption and new possibilities across different sectors. Essentially, it is significant a period where AI is rapidly changing the way we live and work. Impact on industries. This revolution is impacting various fields, including healthcare, finance, manufacturing, transportation, and customer service. So, this age that we're getting ready to go into, we got to have an actor. He got to be able to be speaking propaganda through theatrics. But we got to have a major event. We got to have a major event. Let us go to Revelation chapter 14. Verses 6. It says, I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwells on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear Adonai and give glory to him, for the hour of judgment is come. And worship him that made heaven and earth, and the sea, and the fountains of water. And there followed another angel, saying, Babylon is fallen, and is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornications. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Adonai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstones in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascended up from ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image. And whosoever received the mark of his name, that is the patience of the saints. And here are they that keep the commandments of Adonai and the faith of Yeshua. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, Blessed are the dead which die in Yahuwah from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labor, and their works do follow them. And what I'm getting ready to say is this right here. What pushed the industrial age into place is that it had to be a war. It had to be a war. What is going to push us into the AI industrial age? Everything, all the other pieces have lined up. Everything else has lined up the way it's supposed to line up. The actors in place, they're spitting their propaganda through theatrics. The events are there. The only thing that hasn't taken place in our time period is a war. See, the thing that destroyed Germany, that helped destroy Germany and the Nazi Party, was the United States. And because Germany owed so much money to the United States, the Most High had to bring judgment on Germany or the Nazis through the United States. Who is the majority party that owns the U.S. debt? What country? What country is the majority holder of the U.S. debt? Japan owns 1.1 trillion in U.S. debts. China owns 0.8 trillion in U.S. debts. United Kingdom owns 7 trillion $6.7 trillion in U.S. debts. Those countries we owe. So what I'm saying to you is that history repeats itself, but it moves in different ages or revolutions or evolutions. And it's just what I'm doing today is I want you to get out of your emotions and start thinking from a logical point of view. And I want you to start preparing yourself for spiritually and physically what's to come. Because the only thing that hasn't actually pushed AI into the forefront, the last piece of the puzzle, is the war. So I just want you to be able to understand that. I'm not coming from no religious thing today or no spiritual thing today. This is coming from a logical viewpoint for you to be able to get mentally and spiritually ready for what's taking place on the earth. Because we have a roadmap that took place 100 years ago. We had a roadmap that took place 100 years ago. But also, let me read you something else. Let me read you something else. On November 29, 1947, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted a resolution for the establishment of an independent Jewish state in Palestine and called upon the inhabitants of the country to take such steps as may be necessary on their part to put the plan into effort. Okay? On December the 6th, 2017, Donald J. Trump formally recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and stated that American embassy would be moved from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. That took place 70 years and 7 days after November the 29th, 1947. The number 7 means completion. It's done. No more works. What happened a year later, 2 years later after December the 6th, 2017, was the 400 years time period expired. So when we start to look at the Bible and all these things, everything is coming to fruition. And we just got to get prepared for these things that are taking place. Go back and read the 1920s. Come back and then compare it to the 2020. It will blow your mind. And finally, for all those things, all those people who thinking what's going on right today with the immigration, it's no different. Let me show you something. I googled deportation of the 1929 immigrants. The Mexican Repatriation Act program was a government-sponsored effort to deport people of Mexican ancestry from the United States that began in 1929 The program lasted until 1936, which was 7 years, and was part of the larger Mexican Repatriation Act that took place during the Great Depression. The program involved the force of removing of people of Mexican ancestry, including about 1.2 million people born in the United States. The deportation was carried out through a combination of deportation and voluntary departures. The deportation was rooted in racism and blamed Mexican Americans for taking jobs from other U.S. citizens. The deportation was orchestrated using a patchwork of federal and local authority existing but seldom used deportation rules and mob actions. So that's what I'm saying to you. Please, what you're seeing today is what you're seeing back then. Like I told my daughter, don't trip, don't get emotionally involved in these things. So Father, as we come to you today, we thank you, we bless you, we praise you. We give you all the honor and the glory. Father, we thank you for everything you have done and what you continue to do. Father, we just ask that you continue to let us understand your word the way you want us to understand your word. Let us hear your word the way you want us to hear it. See your word and see things the way you want to see. And let us speak the way you want us to speak. Abba, just let us get ready spiritually for what's getting ready to take place in the world. We're understanding that the Hashatan is trying to move to a new age. But Father, we ask that you help us and lead us and guide us through everything that's going on. Let us get closer to your word and let us be directed by your spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. Father, we just ask that you continue to be with us, help us, and give us the direction where we need to try to go. And in all these things we pray in Yahuwah's name, so let it be. Say bye. Say bye. Say bye. Say bye.
We just wanna make it to your kingdom. Cleave it to Messiah, cause we need him. We just wanna make it to your kingdom. If you found the Father, never leave him. We don't found the truth and ain't no way we bout to leave. If I don't feel your spirit, let me draw down to my knees. When I'm in your presence, every time you bring me peace. The Father, he will supply all your needs. I keep my spirit in wilderness. I'm a patient, my father with healingness. I'm a crowd that y'all know we hearing this. We at the end, they do not take it serious. Fall to the way, the Messiah ain't clearing it. We waking up in the nations just fearing it. Out to the east, cause we watching deliverance. Get on the ark and on board, cause he's selling it, selling it, selling it. We gon' kill his flesh. We know that carnal man gon' always bring us death. We was in them waters, we got caught up in the net. Lot wife, Augie, we ain't never looking back. We ain't never looking back. Whatever you promise to tell me, with the blood of a Mashiach, he gon' confirm you. Cooking up sin, he gon' burn you. Show us the way out, but we gotta learn it. We gotta fast, pray, repent, believe in the Mashiach, cause he was sent. Connected in y'all, developed with friend. A nation of priests, get off of the bench. Forgave us of our sins. Life was in this depth, the only blood that gets you cleansed. Appreciate this life will stop you falling in your sins. He present us faultless, only way that we get in. Only way that we get in. We just wanna make it to your kingdom. Cleaving to Messiah, cause we need him. We just wanna make it to your kingdom. If you found the Father, never leave him. We don't found the truth and ain't no way we bout to leave. If I don't feel the spirit, let me draw down to my knees. When I'm in your presence, every time you bring me peace. The Father, he will supply all your needs. We just wanna make it to your kingdom. Cleaving to Messiah, cause we need him. We just wanna make it to your kingdom. If you found the Father, never leave him. We done found the truth and ain't no way that we gon' leave. If I can't feel your spirit, to my knees. When I'm in your presence, every time you bring me peace. The Father equals supply all your needs. We don't found the truth and ain't no way that we gon' leave. If I can't feel your spirit in me, drop that to my knees. When I'm in your presence, every time you bring me peace. The Father equals supply all your needs.